welcome to DIY Cooking. I'm really excited to be filming another Salsa Saturday video for you guys. I had a lot of positive feedback from the last video, and I can't wait to continue sharing salsa recipes for the month of April. Today's salsa recipe will be a quick and easy recipe with ingredients I'm sure you have, along with one of my absolute favorites, Mexican rice. I'm sure you're wondering when we're going to start making the main course Mexican dishes, but not to worry. Once we have our two more traditional side dishes out of the way, we can move on to more exciting and challenging Mexican recipes next week. So put your salsa music on and let's get started. Start today off with making our rice. We'll be needing 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of chicken bouillon seasoning, regular or tomato base, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoons of sazon. But because I am currently out, I'll be adding an additional 3/4 teaspoons of my tomato chicken bouillon, cup of sliced onions, and 1 tablespoon of olive or vegetable oil. Now that we have all of our ingredients, we can begin with placing a medium-sized skillet at medium-high heat. Drizzle 1 tablespoon of olive or vegetable oil. Once it's hot, we can add in our onion and rice, constantly stirring it for about 2 minutes, just enough to get it nice and toasted. Pour in your water and your seasonings, give it a stir, and let it come to a boil. Once the rice starts to boil, we can cover the skillet with first a sheet of foil, and then we can place our lid, reduce the heat, and let it cook for 20 minutes. Once the 20 minutes are up, we can remove the pan from the heat, but we're gonna leave it covered and let it rest. This step allows the rice to completely finish cooking. After about 10 minutes or so, we can carefully remove the lid, and there you have it, perfectly cooked stovetop Mexican rice. Before we jump into making our salsa recipe, I just realized that we're out of chips, so we're just gonna make a small batch with some store-bought corn tortillas. For this little bonus recipe, I'll be cutting a small stack of corn tortillas into 4s, creating triangles. Then heating about 1/2 cup of vegetable oil on a skillet. Once hot, we can carefully slide in the cut corn tortillas, flipping occasionally until they're nice and golden brown. You can remove the chips onto a napkin layered bowl, sprinkle with salt, and if you have any limes, a squeeze of lime juice is a great touch. Super simple way to make corn chips. Now for our salsa. We'll be using 3 tomatoes, 1/4 of an onion, 2 cloves of garlic, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 to 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, more or less if you like spicy, 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil, and about 1/2 cup of water. We can begin by heating either a small pot or a deep pan at low to medium heat with a drizzle of olive oil. Once it's hot, we can add in our onion and garlic and saute for 2 to 3 minutes. And garlic can be whole since we're just going to be throwing them into the blender. Then we can add in our tomatoes, 1/2 cup of water, and our cayenne. Goal is to have our tomatoes steam in the cayenne water, creating a nice spiciness to it. Put the heat to low, and then we're going to cover it but leave a small gap so that way it can breathe. And then we can flip the tomatoes occasionally just to make sure that they're getting softened on all sides. And now that the tomatoes, onion, and garlic are nice and steamed, we can carefully transfer them into our blender. Add salt and give it a blend. Give it a taste test and add any additional salt or spice if needed. Once it meets your desired taste buds, pour in a bowl and enjoy. That wraps up today's video. I really hope that I was able to spice up your Saturday, and stay tuned for next week. We'll be making some more challenging Mexican recipes. If you are liking the content that I have created so far, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my new upcoming videos. Next time, so stick around if you're continuing to need a little inspiration on a new recipe to try.